All right, guys, I'm back here with my trusty math tablet and ready to teach you more fractions. And tonight, the purpose of the lesson is to compare fractions with the same numerator, so the top number being the same. We've done work where we've compared fractions that have the same denominator, so like 2/3 and 3/3. We can compare those pretty easily. You guys have done that a lot. We've also compared fractions with different denominators. So we've compared 1/4 to 1/5. We've compared 1/4 to 1/8. We've done that a lot. Tonight, we're going to start comparing things like 2/5 and 2/10 and seeing which one's bigger. So we're also going to work on inequality statements, which are greater than, less than, or equal to with fractions. So let's get started. And as always, if you have more questions after this is over, let me know. We can discuss them during a Zoom meeting, or I can record another video to go over things in a different way if that's helpful for you. I think our goal here is we're going to do 2 examples, and then we're going to talk about like a big lesson that you can take away from this that's going to help you remember this moving forward. So let's get started with example number 1, and we're going to hope my pen cooperates more than it did last night. If you recall, I was recording it at like 11:30 last night, and I was tired. My pen was tired. Tonight, it's only, I don't know, 9, maybe 8:30. So I'm a little more awake. Hopefully my pen's a little more awake. So pretend these are candy bars. I'm going to draw 2 of them. Same size candy bars. And we're going to eat them. So the first one we're going to divide into fourths. Like so. And we're going to eat, I'm pretty hungry, so let's eat 3/4 of it. Okay, so I've shaded in 3/4. Let's write that down. 3/4 is shaded. Okay, now we're going to come down to our bottom one here, and we're going to divide this one up. Say this company makes theirs a little bit differently. Same size bar, like you get the same amount of candy out of it, but instead of having 4 pieces in it, they have 8. They double the denominator. They double that bottom number. So they cut theirs in half. They cut each section in half, basically. So let's start with our fourths. We already have those these guidelines helping us up here. And then I can go and I can break each section, break each section in half one more time. So much for that pen cooperate. There we go. These lines are not perfect, but you're getting the idea. I told you last night, Khan Academy makes it look super easy, and it's not always that easy. So, okay, so now the question becomes, how much of my bottom one down here do I need to eat in order to eat the same exact amount that I ate in the first bar? Okay, well, I'm just going to use the top one as a guide since I lined them up on top of each other. I'm going to say, well, that kind of goes to here. So I'd probably eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd eat 6 pieces. So if I ate 6 out of 8 rather, I would eat the same as eating 3 out of 4. So 6/8 is shaded. And then we can make the statement that 3/4 equals 6/8. This right here isn't new learning to you. This is something we've already done, right? You know this. We doubled the numerator and we doubled the denominator from our first one to get our second one. So if we multiply the 3 by 2, we multiply the 4 by 2, we end up with 6/8. So those are equivalent fractions. You guys, we've done that before. Again, not new learning. Now that I've said that, let's move on to new learning. Because now we need to compare 2 fractions that have the same numerator. So let's pretend this had not been eaten yet. We haven't eaten this one either. But we'll stick with 4ths and 8ths since I did all that hard work to draw them. This time I'm going to eat, well, I'll stick with 3/4. That top bar was pretty good, so I'll eat 3/4 there. 3/4 was eaten. Okay. Now, since I ate 3 pieces of this bar, my numerator again represents how many pieces there are that I ate. Sorry, numerator is how many pieces I ate. The denominator tells me how many pieces there are altogether in the bar. I ate 3 out of the 4. So on the one over here, the bottom one, I know that my denominator is 8 because there are 8 total pieces here. And now I'm going to eat 3 of those because we're going to compare fractions with the same numerator. 1, 2, 3. So I ate 3/8 was eaten. So now we need to come down here and say 3/4 and 3/8, and we need to compare them. We need to either say greater than, less than, or equal to. Well, how much? Which one did we eat more of? Do we eat more of the top bar, or do we eat more of the bottom bar? We ate 3 pieces of both, right? So do we eat equal amounts? No, we can see from the picture clearly we didn't eat equal amounts because we ate 3 big pieces up top and we ate 3 little pieces down bottom. So I guarantee you, if I did this, if we were in real life and I said, here, you can have either 3 big pieces of chocolate or you can have 3 little pieces of chocolate, most of you are going to say, I'd like 3 big pieces, please. So you would know automatically that the 3s weren't equal to each other. So we can say that 3/4 is greater than 3/8. That was a sloppy greater than sign. Let's try that again. That wasn't much better, but you get the point. 3/4 is greater than 3/8. So what that means is 3/4 is closer to 1 whole than 3/8 is. You ate almost a whole bar up top, and you ate less than half of the bar down bottom. So that means that 3/4 is bigger than 3/8. Let's try it with another example. We'll change our fractions, we'll change our shape, and see how that goes. So we'll stick with a food theme. We'll go with pizzas, make 2 circles that are the same size. Okay. And let's split them into 1/6 and 1/3. Okay, so we have that one into 1/3. We'll start by dividing this one into 1/3 as well. I think I need to move that over a little. And then we'll split each 1/3 in half. So I will go like this, and like this. So now I have 1, 2, 3 pieces on the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces on the right. So I have decided that I am going to eat, whoops, need a different drawing tool. I'm going to eat 2/3 of this pizza. So 2/3 of that pizza was eaten. Now, because we're going to compare the same numerators, the same top numbers, I can only eat 2 pieces on my one on the right here. So let's see, I'm going to eat 1, 2. Okay. So 2 out of 6 were eaten. So now we can compare them. So is it 2/3 bigger or is 2/6 bigger? Well, you can see from the picture that 2/3 is bigger than 2/6. You eat more. As a matter of fact, it's double the amount. So 2/3 is greater than 2/6. It's closer to 1 whole than is 2/6. So you're probably asking yourself, Mr. Brunel, is there a trick to remember this so I never forget it? Yes, there is, guys. The trick is this. Whenever you have 2 fractions, let's say 2/5, 2/10. Whenever you have 2 fractions and you want to compare them, and the numerators are the same. So if the numerators are the same, all you have to do is look at the denominator and see which one is smaller. Whichever denominator is smaller, that means that thing, that whole, has been split up less times. been cut less times. I like to think of it like a pizza. Like this pizza on the left with the 5 in the denominator, that pizza's only been cut into 5 slices. That whole pizza has been split into 5 pieces. Whereas this pizza over here with the 10, that pizza has been split into 10 different pieces. So those pieces are smaller. Because again, we started with the same size whole. So if the numerators are the same, you look at the denominator and you see which one is smaller. And whatever one is smaller, here's the trick, whichever denominator is smaller, that is the bigger fraction. So I would say in this case that 2/5 is greater than 2/10 because the numerator is the same. I ate 2 pieces out of 5 versus 2 pieces out of 10. Let's try another one. We got, let's do sevenths. We'll do 6/7, and we'll do same numerator, 6/10. We just did tenths. We'll do 11ths. So 6/7 versus 6/11. We look at our denominators. The smaller one means it's been cut less times, which means each piece is bigger. So 6 out of 7 is bigger than 6 out of 11. So I put a greater than sign. Try another one over here. We do 4/4 compared to 4/2. So this is a tricky one. We're going beyond 1 right now. Right? So again, doesn't matter though, even though we've gone beyond 1 over here, we're greater than 1 and we're at 1 here. We look at the numerators, they're the same. So now we figure out which denominator is smaller. It's this one over here on the right, the 2. That has been split less times, so that those pieces are bigger. So this should be 4/4 is less than 4/2. What that would look like, freehand draw this one. I ate 4 out of 4 pieces of something, and over here I had 4/2. So, well, I can only get 2/2 in a whole. Well, that's a bad half, but again, you get the idea. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I ate 1, 2. So over here I ate 1 whole, over here I ate 2 wholes. Obviously that's the greater size. So the takeaway from this lesson is when numerators are the same, you look at the denominator, figure out which one's smaller, and that is the bigger fraction. That's how you compare fractions with the same numerator. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to do another video. I'm happy to talk about it in our Zoom meeting or explain it in some other way if that's what you need. All right, guys, have a good day, and I will talk to you in our Zoom meeting.